Hi, this is a short video about how to cite your sources. We'll learn how to cite your sources in APA 7th edition in your reference list and also in the text of your paper or your presentation. While you can and should get the automatically generated citations from databases, citation generators, or software like Zotero, there's sometimes information missing in your citations or the format is incorrect. So this is why it's good for you to know the format so you can create citations yourself or correct the ones you already have whenever you need to. Citing your sources is important because you want to give credit to the authors or creators of the work. You also want to make sure you're using the best available evidence to support your claims or for your patient recommendations. Finally, citation formats are essentially a format that enables others to quickly see what type of source you're using and to quickly find it themselves. In this example, I can tell that the first source is a journal article just by the citation format, and I have all the information I need to find it myself. In APA format, all sources that you cite in your paper or presentation must appear in your reference list. Conversely, you should not have any sources in your reference list that are not cited in the text of your paper or in your presentation. The in-text citations in your paper refer to the full citations in your reference list. Here are some links to excellent sources to help you cite. I find the quick guide very helpful because it has many examples listed concisely. You can find the link to these sources on the Library How-Tos guide on the Cite Your Sources page. Your reference list is listed alphabetically. It has a hanging indent, so this means that the first line of each citation is not indented, but the following lines are. Also, what should you do if you have more than one author work by the same author? So check out the link in this slide, or you can also Google it. Here's the format for a journal article. So the author's names are listed last name, comma, first initial, period. If there is more than one author, it's followed by the other authors, and then there's an ampersand before the last author. The publication year is in parentheses followed by a period. The title of the article, not the journal, but the article, is in sentence case. This means that the first word of the title and the first word of the subtitle are capitalized in addition to any proper nouns. In this example, efficacy is capitalized and then A is capitalized since it's the first word of the subtitle. Next, the journal title and volume number are in italics. The journal title is in title case. So this means that all words are capitalized except for prepositions, conjunctions, and articles under 5 letters in length. In this example, we see the journal title Cornea followed by a comma and the volume number 38 in italics. Then we have the issue number in parentheses that's not italicized. Then we have another comma followed by the page range, in this case 565 to 573 followed by a period. Finally, we have the DOI, or Digital Object Identifier, as a URL. The DOI is a unique identifier for this article and will always bring people to this article. It's the number starting 10.1097 /ICO. To make DOIs into a URL, just add https://doi.org/. in front of the DOI number. So paste the URL you just made into your web browser and check that it actually brings you to the article, just to be sure you got it right. You should be able to find the DOI on the article itself. If an article doesn't have a DOI for some reason, you can just use the article's URL. To cite an article in text, you need the author's last name, the publication year, and the page number if you're quoting directly from it. Whenever there are more than 2 authors, you'll write the author's last name followed by et al. Period. Here's how to cite an ebook that has no page numbers, 2 editors instead of authors, and is the 7th edition. So after the author's last name, write eds period, and the E is capitalized. The book's title is in sentence case and italics. After the title, but before the period, write 7th ed period in parentheses. The edition is not in italics. Next, write the name of the publisher and the DOI or URL of the book. When citing it in text, since you have 2 authors or 2 editors in this case, you write their last names connected by an ampersand, followed by the publication year. So there are no page numbers, so you would omit those even if you're quoting directly from the book. Finally, when you cite a website, look for the author. In this case, there's no individual author, but rather the author would be the American Optometric Association. There's no publication date or copyright date listed anywhere on the page, so we write N period, D period, in parentheses, followed by a period for the publication date. That kind of stands for no date. The page title is in sentence case in italics, and the page title is generally whatever's written in the top center of the page. If there was a website name, you would write that next. In this case, we put AOA as the author, so I'm omitting it from the website name location since we don't need to write it twice. Then you put the URL. For the in-text text citation, you have the author's last name or whatever you wrote for the author, so we would write American Optometric Association here. Then we write N period, D period, since we don't have a date. If we were quoting directly, we could write a paragraph number that we are quoting from as para, P-A-R-A period, and then the number. There are so many unique circumstances that you'll run across when citing sources. I always find the answers by Googling them. When Googling your question, include the following information: the citation format, the type of source, and the unique characteristics you have a question about. For example, if you wanted to know how to cite a website with no publication date in APA 7th edition, you could Google APA 7th website, no date, and probably find a good source of information. When citing your sources in the text of your paper in APA format, you should almost always summarize or paraphrase the information. You almost never use direct quotes. APA directs that you should only use direct quotes when it's especially impactful to do so, so you'll almost never use them. You can see in this example that there are many citations and no direct quotes. When citing in text and summarizing or paraphrasing, you can quote at the end of the sentence as shown in this example. You can also elect to incorporate the citation into the text of your sentence. You'll always have it in this format where the author's last name will be a part of the sentence, followed by the year in parentheses. When quoting, you'll put quotation marks around the quote and then put the citation after the quotes and before the period. You can also incorporate the citation into the text of the sentence by referring to the author, followed by the year in parentheses and then a comma, followed by the quote in quotation marks, followed by the page number written as P period and then the number in parentheses, followed by a period. Remember to contact me or the library help options with any questions or to work on any steps of your research process.